Hello, do you know how to make TMR or Total Mixed Ration for your cows? Do you know when to use TMR? Do you know how to do it with different size bales, round bales, square bales? What about the different sizes of mixer wagons? Hi, I'm Farmer Teacher. Stick around. I'm going to show you all these things about Total Mixed Ration or TMR. Let's get into it. Okay, check it out. In order to make TMR, you're going to need a couple of things. One is a mixer wagon here. Let me show you on the menu. If you go down to animals here, right here, forage mixers, this is them. Now, they have a real small one on here. I wouldn't recommend using that. You can only use really tiny bales, and I would at least use this one or this one. So the one I have right now is this one. It's $55,000, and it holds 24 cubic meters of stuff, hopefully TMR. And then we're going to look at this one next, and it has 3 configurations, so hold that thought. You're also going to need something to put the bales in the mixer wagon. So what you're going to do is use a telehandler. That's these right here. The one I have is the Merlot. I like the Merlot because in the back, it has attachments like a tractor. So it has 170 horsepower, but also doubles as a 170 horsepower tractor. So you get a little double duty out of this thing, and it costs about the same as the others anyway. So I usually use the Merlot because I can pull something else with that on my farm, which is kind of cool. All right, let me show you. So if you have this mixer wagon, the green mixer wagon, 24 cubic meters, this is the formula you want to use if you're doing round bales. Okay, round bales. You're going to do 150 centimeter or 5,500 liters of silage. You're going to do 250 centimeter or 6,500 liter bales of hay and 125 centimeter or 5,000 liters of straw. Okay, we're going to stick these in our mixer wagon here. Now, I always do the straw last because every now and then, on the formulas I show you, we don't, but every now and then, you might have a little bit too much of something, and the straw is a filler. The others are ingredients you have to have. So I always put the straw in last, just in case it exceeds your capacity just a little bit. But if you follow this formulas, you shouldn't have any issues because I've worked them all out. Okay, check it out. We have put all our stuff in there. Look at that. And we have 23,500 liters of TMR. So we're 97% full with this formula. So that's how you do it on this green mixer wagon, this 24 cubic meters of stuff, okay? Let me show you why you need TMR. Okay, I got some dairy cows in here. Now, if you're having dairy cows, look at the production over there. When it talks about food, hay will give you 80%. But remember, you get dairy cows or buffalo to make milk. Okay, that's the whole reason of having them, dairy cows or buffalo. So you want to feed these TMR because you're going to get 25% more. You're going to go from 80 to 100. That's an extra 25% in milk you're going to get. For beef cows, you can feed them TMR or you don't have to, okay, for beef cows. Because they're not producing milk, you're selling the cows. And it doesn't really matter. The only thing that's going to change for beef cows is slurry and manure. You'll get an extra 25% of slurry and manure if you give them TMR. If you're not really concerned about that, you can just feed them hay. If you're just selling the cows, you're not worried about the slurry or the manure. If you want to increase that, you can certainly give them TMR also, but it's not required. But you certainly want to do it for dairy cows because that would increase your income 25%. Okay, let me show you this next mixer wagon. This is the red one. It comes in 3 different size configurations. So if you go down to animals, once again, it's $80,000, but you can have 35 cubic meters, 40 cubic meters, or 45 cubic meters. So I'm going to give you a formula for all 3 of these in case you have those. And let me show you what that is. Okay, for 35 cubic meters, I have it right here. And what you're going to have is 2 150 centimeter, 5,500 liters of silage, 250 centimeter, 6,500 liter of hay, and 225 centimeter, 5,000 liters of straw. That's going to give you 34,000 liters of stuff. Okay, so this thing would be 97% full. And there you go. That's the formula for this one. Okay, next, if you had the next size up, 40,000 liters, you're going to have 250 5,500 liter of silage, 280 centimeters, 9,000 liters each of hay, and 225 centimeters, 5,000 liters each of straw. That's going to give you 39,000 liters, almost full, at 97.5% full. If you have the very large size red mixer at 45,000 and you're using round bales, you're going to have 350 centimeter, 5,500 liter of silage, 280 centimeter, 9,000 liters each of hay, and 225 centimeters, 5,000 liters each of straw. That's going to give you 45,500 liters, or it's going to be 98.89% full. Okay, now we're on to square bales. Okay? And if you're using the green mixer wagon, you're going to do 280 centimeters, that's 5,000 liters each of square bales of silage, and 280 centimeters, 6,000 liters each of hay. And you're not going to be able to do any straw. There's just not room for that unless you had the very small baler. You could throw a couple of bales of small, very small bales of straw in there. But if you don't, you just leave that out. And this is going to give you 22,000 liters. The capacity here is 24,000 for the green mixer. But that's going to be 91.67% full. And that's okay. That's still TMR. But the straw does make it a little cheaper. So I recommend, instead of the green mixer wagon, when you can, if you're using square bales, try to trade up to one of the red mixer wagons, because it's going to come out exact. And by using straw, it cuts your costs up. Straw is cheaper. Okay, so look at the first level of red mixer wagon, the 35,000 liter one. Okay, you're going to use 280 centimeters, 5,000 liters each of silage, 380 centimeters, 6,000 liters each of hay, and 180 centimeter, 7,000 liters each of straw. And that'll give you 35,000 liters exactly, and it will be full 100%. Okay, if you have the 40,000 liter red mixer wagon, you're going to using square bales, 380 centimeter, 5,000 liters each of silage, 380 centimeter, 6,000 liters each of hay, and 180 centimeter, 7,000 liters each of straw. And once again, that's going to be exactly 40,000 liters at 100% full. And finally, if you have the 45,000 liter red mixer wagon, you're going to use 380 centimeter, 5,000 liters of silage in square bales, 220 centimeter, 7,250 liters each of hay, and 220 centimeter, 8,250 liters of straw. Okay, those are my formulas for making TMR, Total Mixed Ration. Once again, you only need them for dairy cows. If you're making milk with either dairy cows or buffalo, then you'll need to make TMR because you'll get 25% more profit. So you're going to want to do that. So share this with your farming buddies. That's all I got. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments or let me know if you see a different way to do it. There are some mods out there where you can make TMR quickly, but that's not for this video. So I'll see you on the next go-round. I'm Farmer Teacher. See you later. Bye-bye.